Hello ladies and gentlemen, Mike here from Like Designs, bringing you guys a quick tutorial. Now I've found at least one other tutorial on YouTube that actually covers this very well in the way that I would, but at one point he goes off and just does a lot of other pointless steps that you really don't have to to do to do this. So this is Boujou to After Effects. So we're gonna be tracking something in Boujou and sending it over to After Effects. And before that tutorial, it just simply he covered it pretty well, but uh, if you're like me, it was really hard to find how to do this correctly. But one simple switch is what makes it work, and it's very simple. So first things first, you're gonna want to drag your clip into Adobe After Effects. Now once you do that, you want to drag it into your make a new comp. Alright, and then you're gonna want to go to composition, add to render queue. Now once you're at the render queue, you want to go to render settings, and actually you leave all this the same, but you do want to look at the frame rate. You want to set it to a certain frame rate if you're doing a certain way, but I'm going to show you guys a quick and easy way of doing this. But you want to set it to a certain frame rate, and remember that frame rate. 30 is much easier to remember than 23.976. So yeah, click OK. Now go here, click on lossless, format, set it to JPEG sequence. Now click OK, and I highly recommend you create a folder on your desktop specifically for that. Here we go. Alright, so now we're gonna do the rendering. Let's go right here and open up the sequence folder, and there we go. Now render. And I'll get back to you guys once it's done. Okay, so here we are. It's done. Now nobody covers Boujou to Adobe After Effects as well as they should. They always cover Boujou to Cinema 4D pretty well. But you know, if you're like me and you've been looking for this for a long time, it's actually one little easy switch that that tracks that. Hold on, you'll see. Okay, so here's our sequence. And once you have the sequence, you're gonna want to open up Boujou, obviously. After Effects, you can go ahead and delete this. It's not really needed. Okay. Now we're gonna import the sequence on Boujou. So you go here, or you can go up to Setup, Import Sequence. We're just gonna do here. Now we're gonna find it. Now you're going to want to click on the first image of the sequence, and then it basically follows all the way through as a video. Now remember the frame rate. It was at 30, so you're going to want to switch it to 30. Now when you click apply, it most likely goes back to a different number. Just go back to 30. Click apply again, and then close. So now here we have the image, and this is when we track it. From this point on, it's very simple. Now you're going to want to track features. The program basically does everything for you. If you want a higher sensitivity, just go up, but it's really not 100% needed. So we're just going to start. I'll get back to you guys once it's done. Okay, so here we are. It's about done. And then once you do that, you have a nice tracked clip with a bunch of tracker points everywhere. But this isn't only what you want. Next thing you want to do is camera solve the clip. So you want to click on camera solve, optimize camera path smoothness, and click start. Now this process, depending on the size of your clip, could be instant or it could take forever. So just wait. It won't take too long. Alright, so here we are. It's done. So when you scroll through it like this, when you move through it, you'll see that the track is pretty nice. Very important when you're doing a live action clip, you want to make sure that there's not a lot of wobble in your footage. Like right here, there's a lot of wobble because the camera I'm using isn't very good for video. But here we go. It's tracked pretty smoothly considering the wobble. So yeah, Boujou is a beast. So now we've got to export. So we're gonna export camera solve, and you want to go right here and select After Effects. Once you do that, scale scene by 100. Okay, and just save it. And then obviously recommend you save it somewhere where you'll know it's at. Now here's the thing. Usually at this point you'd have this and that you have to use in After Effects, and you would have to get the frame rates and so on perfectly fine. Now this is the raw file. If you want to use a raw file, then you can do the frame rate aspect of it. You can get get this to have a 30 frame rate in After Effects. That way it'll go along with the motion track, because it's highly important that the frame rates are the same, or else it won't be tracked well. So you want to go back to Boujou, and here's the way I do it. You go back to export and you export the sequence, and it'll export it in an AVI file. So we're going to browse and we're going to save it to our desktop. There we go. Save. So now you want to click OK. And by doing that, you ensure that it's the frame rates of the track of the camera solve and the frame rates of the actual clip is always 100% the same, and it really doesn't take too long to export videos from Boujou. So we'll just wait a second. Okay, so here we go, it finished. Also, if you want to do motion tracking on Cinema 4D, for example, you have a track and a video, and you wanna add objects and so on, 3D objects and 3D letters and so on with Cinema 4D. This is also a very quick way of getting past those frame rate hassles of having to, get the frames just right. And for those people who always export over to Cinema 4D their motion track, and it never comes out quite as smooth or as right as they want it to, once again, you export the sequence and use that instead of the original raw file. So now we're gonna minimize this, and here's our project. These are the two things we're gonna use. So we're gonna open up After Effects, import file, and we're going to find the two files, the video and the .ma. We open it, and here we have it. So you want to double click on the untitled project, and there you have the track. So then once you do that, you just drag in your AVI file, and there you have your video. So when you scroll through it, you can see that it's motion tracked pretty well. Once again, it wasn't 100% perfect when I motion tracked it on Boujou, simply because there's a lot of wobble in the video. What, Raymond? What do you want? Yeah, I'll get on Skype in a little bit. I'm in the middle of a tutorial. No, I get on once I'm done with the tutorial. You'll see when I upload it. See ya. 5 minutes. Sorry for that. Okay, so you'll see that it's tracked pretty well, considering that my video has a lot of wobble in it, and it originally wouldn't track very well with that wobble because it distorts the video itself. But other than that, it's pretty well tracked. So now you're gonna want to add something, anything. So let's say you want, let's see, let's go find something over here. Okay, there we go. Let's say you want this planet in your video, so you're gonna want to go back to After Effects, right click, import file, and you already be on desktop, being as the desktop was the last place that you selected a file from. Now we're gonna find that file. Click on it, open it, and now you want to drag it into your video, into your comp, and there we go, you got this. And don't bother scaling right now, because what you're about to do is going to just proportionally outscale it and place it somewhere else. So you want to click on make it a 3D object, so you click on this little tab here, and then it puts it somewhere else, and very big. Now this is the place where a lot of people just go off and do some complicated things that you really don't have to do. Once you put your whatever you want in the video, that is it. You really don't have to do anything else. You can motion blur this and create a motion blurred video if you want, but once you do that, the actual image is already tracked into your video. There's nothing else. You don't have to do anything else. It is that simple. So remember, drag this into your comp and make the image a 3D file. Now right now you could, since this is a planet, of course you could you could blend it in, which isn't the purpose of this tutorial, but I'll go ahead and do that. Actually, you can't see a damn thing. It's too bright, too bright. Far too bright. Alright, so that is it. Let's unblend this. Normal. That is it. You can see, and also the beauty of Boujou is the camera solve is just insane. Even when you track it into After Effects, the image will always be proportionally to the angle of your camera and where you actually want the effect, which is always very cool that it does that. So that is it. That's how you very easily import a motion track into Adobe After Effects. And you could also do it with Cinema 4D if you follow the way I specifically told you guys how to. So thanks for watching. Please rate and subscribe.